Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel, and today we are looking at some ear protection as a gun or a firearm shooter. So I got a comment from Poppy Spider and he asked if I could do a video on ear protection. And so here it is. I'm going to talk to you about the different types of ear protection you can have and what I personally use. So let's jump right in. Many of you probably don't know it, but gunshots can hit over 160 decibels and we only get one set of ears. So we want to protect our ears as much as possible. The most common type of ear protection are your earplugs. And so I used to use these. Very easy, small, comfortable, affordable ear protection option. All you do is take these and just slide them in your ears. Now, I do understand that sometimes these don't work as efficient as they should because they are not properly inserted in the ear. And so you want to, from what I remember, because I don't use these as often anymore, you want to twist the earplug as tight as you can get it, where it can get, small and tiny like so. And then you want to lift your ear up and back, and then insert the plug into your ear until it expands in your ear. And that's the way you're gonna get the best benefit and the most efficient use out of the earplugs. Again, they're affordable, they're easy to use, they're disposable. You can get a bunch in a pack for cheap, and they just work and they're reliable. Again, another downside with these is that you can put them in wrong and they just don't work. The other downside to these is it really does lessen your situational awareness. So having these in, your ears will be protected from gunshot sounds, but in the event that you're talking to someone, you're probably not gonna hear them as well. And so that's one thing to kind of consider. You definitely have to use your eyes to be vigilant around you and not so much your ears because of the sound suppression. But these are great options, very affordable. And if anything, don't go outside or go into any range or anything shooting without ear protection. If you can't afford the high-end stuff or the over-the-head headphones, these are a great option. These are also great for doubling up in the indoor range. If you ever shot in the indoor range, you know it is super loud. And so these doubled up means I put these in my ears and then maybe I put over another set of headphones. That way my ear protection is protected at all costs. Another type of ear protection option is your custom molded earplugs. And so those, I don't have a set of those, but those are your earplugs that you kind of either get done by an audiologist or you do a DIY kit where you can mold them specifically to your ear. And I think those are great options actually, because somebody like me, I have a hard time finding the right ear protection for me because I have small ears. And something like a molded earplug would work perfect for me because I can mold it to my ear just like I need it. It'll be your perfect fit. They're reusable and you can use them at any training facility, whether outdoor or indoor, and they'll work perfectly fine. The only downside I would say about the molded ones is that they can be pricey, especially if you get them done by an audiologist. I have seen some DIY kits in the stores and they're a little bit pricey, but it depends on what you prefer and if that's something you would want to do. And another downside I failed to mention is that they do not have electronic features. Now, I do understand that there are some custom modes out there where I think they're working to get the electronic features on them, but you won't get the custom mode and the electronic features. Out of the two, you will have to give or take one or the other. So if that's something you're looking into, I would highly recommend the custom molded earplugs. Another common set of ear protection is your passive earmuffs. So those look like these big old bulky ones that you can get for very cheap on Amazon, from any store, any retail store for that matter. It doesn't even have to be a gun store. You can get them from Walmart, you can get them from Target, wherever you can find some headphones like these or earmuffs. This is what they look like. And so the reason why these are very beneficial is because they're gonna block out the sound 100%. Meaning, I'm not saying you won't hear anything, but when you put these on, the noise reduction that you hear gets lessened drastically. And that's because these earmuffs are thick. They have this thick padding in them, and then they also have the inside there where it will help suppress the sound that you hear on the outside of these. I personally don't like these. One, because I can't hear when I put them on. When I'm trying to hear someone talk, majority of the time, if they're on my face, I'd have to go like this and ask, what did you say? And I don't always like to do that. Another reason I don't like these is because just like now when I put them on, they affect my cheek weld. And so that means the bottom of the earmuff here kind of like rides right here on my cheek weld, and it's super uncomfortable for me. I feel like the foams do their job as far as comfortability, but when it comes to just a comfort all day, this is a no-go for me. It squeezes like it's supposed to, but it squeezes my head, and I just do not like that feeling. So, but this is a great option. If this is all you have and this is all you can afford, it's a great option. You might have to make modifications to it to fit the comfortability that you want. Also, depending on how long you're gonna be shooting or whatever you're doing, training, that will play a part as well. The other thing is you don't need batteries for these. They are not electronic muffs. Very simple, very affordable, reliable. They are kind of bulky. Something to consider with these earmuffs is if you are shooting rifles deep, because of the thickness of the muffs, they could get in the way of you trying to put your cheek weld on, or put your cheek on the cheek weld of the rifle. That could be an issue. And then they also can get really hot. Depending on how long you have them on, these can cause you to get really hot, start sweating. The inside of your ears will get really hot. So that's just something to consider, but these are great options, especially for first-time shooters. And then the last option that I think is the perfect option for me are electronic earmuffs. So now I have a few options when it comes to electronic earmuffs. So first off, these are the very first headphones I ever owned after learning that I needed to wear ear protection when shooting. These are the Walkers headphones, and they are just like the traditional earmuffs that I showed you earlier, but as you can tell, these are a lot thinner than these. Also, these are electronic, so you add batteries to these, and then there's a power button here on the back side. Mine are super dirty, but there's a power here on the back side. You press the power button, at least on these, all of them don't work the same, but you press the power button on the back side here and it activates noise cancellation. So you put the headphones on and you're able to hear everybody around you crystal clear. That is one reason why I love these, because you can just activate that feature and you can now hear everybody around you, but the gun sound is still suppressed. Like you can hear the gun sound, but it's not nowhere near as loud as if you did not have these on. I also like the foaming in the Texas, or I want to say the Texas Walkers, but these are the Walker Razors. These are super comfortable. However, my gripe with over-the-head headphones is that when I put them on, it rides my cheek well, and I just can't do it. The comfortability for me is just not there. I've adjusted them. I've adjusted the height of the headband. It still doesn't work for me. But I do love that I can hear people crystal clear in these. Like, they don't even have to talk loud. They can just talk normal tone and I can hear them in these. Another set that I have are these electronic earplugs by Axel. So these are the ones that I have been running for about 2 years now. And this is what they look like. It's basically Bluetooth headphones that you can stick inside your ear. They do have these cushion tips that you can wrap around the back of your ear, and then you stick the cushion part almost similar to your earplugs, but these are electronic. And you slip these into your ear, make them comfortable. And again, like the over the headphone electric options, you do have an on and off button where you can activate the noise cancellation feature, and you also have a volume button and a Bluetooth button. I did use these Bluetooth one time. I actually was at a match and I was talking to my husband on the phone while I was wearing these, which was a great feature. I never knew that it could sound so clear. You still did not hear the gunshots as audible as though you didn't have these on. And I just think right now, these are what works best for me. My only gripe about these is my ear hole is a lot smaller than the average person. And so the ear tips, I still have not found ear tips small enough for me when it comes to these. So I just kind of make it work. I squeeze them as much as I can, stick them in my ears and see if it can work. But these are my go-tos. Perfect. Like I said before, I don't like the over the head because of the cheek weld. And then also with the over the head earphones, they start to squeeze my temple. Once I wear them for a long time, I just feel like once you have on your glasses and then you have these headphones on and then you put it on, it's just like everything is just starting to just squeeze my head, and I don't like it. So that's why I don't wear over the headphones for ear protection. And then lastly, I bought these, probably wore them only once, and I'll tell you why I don't really use these as much, is the actual Bluetooth headphones. And these are kind of like your AirPods, your headphones that you could use to talk on the phone and listen to music, but these are also used for the range, and this is what they look like. Small, very compact. The only issue I have is they don't stay in my ears, and it kind of goes back to what I said about the Axel, I think these are the 2.0 Extremes. The tips, I can't find a small enough tip where it can stay in my ear. I would love this option because it's almost like the molded ones. Like once you sit it down in your ear, it's not going anywhere. But for some reason, my ears just don't want to cooperate with these kind, which is why I have to wear the ones that wrap around my ears, because even if the tip won't stay in, every time I shoot in competitions, I'm always having to adjust these to get it right back in my ear. But they don't fall out because this part is wrapped around the back of my ear. So I don't know, I'm trying to find the happy medium between the two of these. And so again, these are a great option. I've seen people wear these. Again, they're just like your earbuds that you wear to listen to music, except now you're able to suppress the sound of gunshots. So I don't know, y'all let me know what y'all think. Again, I think what works best for me is just the over the ear or around the ear tips that stick in, and they work. I would love to get a pair of headphones like these because I do think with the walkers, I'm sure there's other headphones, over the head ear protection, light walkers that are probably even better. And I'll put a list actually right here on the screen of other options you can take a look at that are not walkers. I know a lot of people get tired of walkers, and so here's some other options that you can look at. But if there was like, maybe if someone made some headphones that kind of cut a little bit shorter and not as long onto the cheek well, I would probably entertain it because I just really like the way I can hear everything outside of these when I have them on. And that's because these don't do a great job of letting me hear people talk to me or anything other than gunshots. It does not sound nowhere near as clear as like your over the head ear protection. So I don't know. I don't even know if I can get the perfect headphones for me. Again, I'm struggling a little bit with having smaller ears, so I don't even know if there's an option out there for me. I will continue to look at different things, but if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I'll just continue to use what I've been using. So y'all let me know down in the comment section, what headphones are you using? Help some of the people out in the comment section who are just like, oh, I didn't even know I needed ear protection. Or, oh, I thought earmuffs were the best thing out there. No, I personally think that the electronic earmuffs, earplugs, earbuds, anything electronic is the best option in my personal opinion, because you do get that 2-for-1 where the gunshot sound is suppressed, but you can also be situationally aware of those around you, people talking. Somebody was to holler out ceasefire or something like that, at least you would hear it as quickly as possible. Whereas with earmuffs, you'd probably have to be looking around, seeing people with your eyes to see that there's something going on. So y'all let me know what y'all are running. What do y'all prefer? Do you prefer the over the head or the earbuds, or anything that you can stick in your ears rather than the overhead? A couple things I would recommend is that if you do go shoot indoors, like I mentioned earlier, you might want to double up on ear protection because it's just so loud in indoor ranges that you do not want to lose your hearing because you didn't double up. So I do recommend doubling up on ear protection at the range, but I also recommend that when you start looking for that ear protection that is right for you, make sure you look for the NRR rating on all over the head or Bluetooth or earplug ear protection, which is the noise reduction rating. You want to know, pick the one that has the highest NRR and you should be fine. If you're new to shooting, check down in my comment section. I'll list some of the options that you can get from Amazon that are very affordable and budget friendly. And then as you continue on your shooting journey, you might find something that's more high end, but it fits the needs for you. So y'all let me know again down in the comment section, what are you running? And let us know. Fill us in. For those of us who are not aware to a brand that you might be rocking, let us know down in the comment section. And I'll catch y'all on the next one. Till next time, stay armed, stay safe, and stay vigilant. Peace.